転生
Enter with me a world of magic, nobles, peasants, and a lot of screaming as we begin this wonderful series. With a yawn, we see Asta enter the Grimoire Tower as he bumps into commoners, peasants, and nobles alike. Hey, Yuno. Yeah? This is really claustrophobic. As they enter the tower, Yuno says to deal with it. I thought you said you were stronger than me. At magic, you idiot, not with people. Yeah, right, Yuno thought. In his mind, Yuno thinks back to a time he saw Asta almost like a god in his eyes. And then he looks to the current Asta, who despite his power, thinks very lowly of himself. Welcome one and all to the Grimoire Tower, shouts the tower elder. As he takes center stage, looks upon the prideful nobles, the disavowed commoners and peasants, saying today whether they wanted to dream big or be little, it didn't matter. All of it will come true. Just as long as you're willing to work for it. Yuno and Asta's family, along with many others, watch on as their kids, cousins, or whoever they may be pass their rite, and so the Grimoire ceremony begins. At which point grimoires of all sizes and colors drop. Everyone gets a 3-leaf and are happy. They could either, help their parents with this, or go on adventures, become knights, or take over a business. My father has already secured me a spot in the Knight Order. Me as well. I aim for the Crimson Lions. As he looks to the nobles apathetically, Asta thinks, good for them. Before I say anything else, I would like to describe Asta's personality as, well, complicated? He genuinely is happy for the nobles as much as they might suck, and he knows they suck. Just as much as he would be happy if Yuno became the Wizard King. He has chosen the path of least resistance. He goes with the flow and accepts whatever happens, whether it be good or bad. This is due to a few things that happened in the past, which I will explore way later down in the story. Regardless, a bright light, actually 2 of them, blind everyone for a moment before they dim, with 2 4-leaf clovers being revealed. Impossible, it can't be. 2 of them? A 4-leaf clover is a sign of not only good luck, but unimaginable talent with whichever mage is lucky enough to be chosen by one. One hadn't been seen for centuries, not since the first Wizard King himself. Slowly, said grimoires float down and greet the hands of Yuno and Asta respectively. Asta's grimoire is a shade of turquoise with golden outlines. The design itself made him realize how clearly fitted this was. It just felt right. Those peasants have 4 leaves? They don't even look strong. Inconceivable. That's amazing. Opinion is pretty divided, but majority of those who live here are peasants, and they are in full support of the 2 and begin to congratulate them. I can't believe it, both of them, remarks Nash. Amazing. We truly have been blessed, said Father Orsi. It's hard to believe just a few years ago these 2 were found at the doorsteps of the orphanage, said Lily. However, to Asta, these feelings of admiration towards him mean nothing much. However, he is startled to hear Yuno declare he will be the Wizard King, which everyone cheers him on for. I'm happy for you, Yuno, he thinks. With a quiet smile, he begins to make his way off, losing himself into the crowd. The piercing gazes of nobles and those of his same social class is bothersome. If he's being honest, this really isn't for him. As for Yuno, even with all this praise, he only wanted to hear Asta tell him that he was happy for him, to his face. Making his way back to the family, Asta is congratulated. Thanks, I'll meet you guys back home, okay? Yeah, go right ahead, I know this isn't your scene, said Orsi. As he runs out of the tower, he would then take to the skies and head for the forest, when his grimoire then flies out of his hand, and before him, it begins to flip, bringing itself to this one specific page, which drew Asta in. He came to a stop. Spirit Spear Chastiful? Am I saying that right? The grimoire erupts with mist, startling Asta, who finds his grimoire has become a pillow. His eyes light up as he jumps on it, snuggling. So soft. This is my new bed from now on. It even flies. Listening to the whims of his mind, The pillow flies wherever he wants, in whichever direction he wants, which surprises him all the more. For the next few minutes, Asta spends his time alone, just enjoying nature, as we cut to Yuno being handed back his grimoire by the grimoire elder. A shame your friend can let me see his as well. You have a wonderful gift, Yuno. Be sure to use it well. I will, and Asta's a bit antisocial. I hope you don't mind if he sits this one out. As he walks off, Yuno waves goodbye, with the elder thinking it's a shame that Asta has so much power if he apparently has social anxiety. Yuno would make his way up a stairwell and out to an open space as he looks upon the setting sun. I'm finally gonna do it. Yeah. Hey, you street rat! With a sigh, Yuno turns to see two enraged nobles asking him to hand over his grimoire. We're doing you a favor. Someone like you can't use it. You can't use its full power correctly. Yeah, we're doing you a favor. Hand it over. Typical. I don't even need my grimoire for you two. Seething at this point from their need to be above this boy, they go to attack him when the wind instantly pulls them back, almost as if like a vacuum. They crash into the walls behind with such force they are stunned and knocked out. Oh, I just got a spell. So that's how it works. While the nobles lay out cold, Yuno begins to walk off when suddenly chains erupt from the ground, grabbing a hold of and sealing his magic. His grimoire dims, falling to the floor. Crap. Why can't I? Who is it? Reveal yourself. He can hear the snickers of a certain man, but he can't see anyone. However, he feels it, a strong magical presence. Past him, Revchi walks and grabs his grimoire off the floor. Thanks for the gift, kid. Someone on the market's gonna pay top money for this, you know? Give it back. It's mine. Besides, grimoires don't work for anyone but the owner. That might be true, but like I said, someone's gonna pay for it. I mean, for nobles, robbing a peasant like you of any power is worth more than any kind of magic. You sick bastard. Hey, don't get so hostile. I mean, I was a magic knight once, you know? You wanted to become Wizard King, right? Well, it's tough to say that you'll get far if you can't even beat me. Yuno! The thief turns and sees Asta flying over with a look of worry as his pillow would then begin to glow and then transform, taking the shape of a spear. Grabbing it, he tightens his grip and chucks it at the mage, who dodges to the side as the weapon strikes the floor. Missed. However, the floor below him then caves in. The spear follows the command of Asta's hand movements and swings into his stomach. He's thrown into the walls and he breaks it while Asta would fly down to him. Your magic's being drained? No, he sealed it, didn't he? He used to be a magic knight. Be careful. Asta's ear twitches at that very moment as the spear would fly into his hand and he uses it to deflect oncoming chain attacks. Now a raging entity, Revchi attacks with more and more, which Asta continues to block, looking calm as ever. Oh, I like you. I don't. But these words, all of Revchi's chains would shatter, leaving him wide-eyed as Asta flies in close. In a flash, he cocks back his fist and buries it into his stomach, sending him flying towards the forest while he goes unconscious. However, he did drop Yuno's grimoire. Asta catches it, and he then turns to face Yuno as the chains release him and disappear before he then gives it to him. Yuno catches it, saying, "Thanks." The impact of Revchi crashing into the forest echoes from the forest down below as Asta says, "No problem. Let's go home. I've had enough of fighting for today." Yeah, me too. Just then, the spear turns into its pillow form, which Asta jumps onto, surprising Yuno, who asks, "Where's your grimoire?" "I'm sitting on it." "You can change your grimoire?" "Yeah, what's the big deal?" "Nothing. I'd still beat you." "I'm sure you could somehow. Don't patronize me." As their voices fade, we cut to 3 days later. While Yuno was training, we find Asta gliding on his pillow through the forest. He had always felt connected to plant life, to nature. He's not a vegetarian or anything, because I know King isn't in the Seven Deadly Sins story, but he does appreciate nature, and just nature specifically. He doesn't really care about the animals particularly. Like, he has no ill will towards them. He'll treat them like any other human would. If they're cute, he'll try to pet them and all that. But he just likes how everything is in a forest and with flora. While he's going around, he says, "Oh, hey, Mr. Kruger." He flies into a somewhat isolated area and he finds a lone hut, from which Kruger slides his doors open. "Oh, Asta, you wanna come in?" "No, just came to say hi. You know it's training and everyone's doing chores." "Shouldn't you be helping them?" "Not really, I suck at it, so I'm just chilling." "You know, with that mindset of yours, you won't become a strong knight." "Who said anything about becoming a strong knight? I just wanted to relax. Actually, I heard about this one squad, a group of misfits. I feel like I'd fit in." "Oh, great. You're in that phase. What's that supposed to mean?" "Shut up, you live alone." "That's by choice, young one." As Asta groans, he and the old man go back and forth practically forever. And honestly, Asta doesn't really find it interesting to be in a almighty group of like magic, knights. He just wants to be in a group of people that he can be himself around, who won't care if he's too lazy sometimes. He's not interested in fame. Now, after the 6 months that they have before they go to the capital, because Asta does still want to, get that money because they poor, we find Asta being group hugged by his little siblings. "Don't get lost. Ooh, and make sure you practice, well, not practice, but do something with your magic at least. And eat tons." "I'm not a toddler." "Might as well be," said. "That's not funny. I'll be fine. Also, stop crying." As they're left with the fact that these two will be leaving them, they're quite teary-eyed, but they know in their hearts these two will be fine. As the two begin to leave, they wave goodbye, saying that they definitely visit. Beginning to float, Asta flies on ahead with Yuno saying to wait up and push himself forward with wind, while Asta would say that this isn't a competition. "Nothing means anything to you," says the inferiority complex ridden brother of mine. As Yuno scowls, they race their way towards the capital. They obviously take breaks in between because that's a long journey. And upon arriving, they line up with many other participants, with a floating Asta hugging his massive pillow, just as he comes up to the receptionist. "Hey kid, where's your grimoire? And where'd you get that massive pillow?" Asta says the pillow is his grimoire, and it shifts to the 4-leaf grimoire, leaving the man in complete shock. But before he can shout, his mouth is held closed by a panicked Asta who says, "Shut up, man, I don't want all that. Please." He would gently remove his hand, and the man apologizes for almost making a scene, and he simply hands him a number, which he happily accepts, and he starts flying in. While he is doing so, he hears, "Wait a minute, another 4-leaf?" shouts the receptionist. "A 4-leaf? Wait, there's 2 4-leaves here? How is that possible? Who are they?" Murmurs begin to spread, and with a sigh, Asta would just say, "Yeah, I know he couldn't help himself. I mean, it is kind of crazy," he thinks. He flies about the coliseum upon getting in, and he gets these stares from people as they watch him be weird. And then he gets even more bizarre. His book, his grimoire, turns into a pillow. They are completely confused. None of them have ever seen someone be able to do that. And people like hybrids and special mages are very rare. Asta just dozes off unaware though, and he doesn't even know how much magic he's letting off, to the point that the magic birds don't even approach him, and as a matter of fact, they avoid him like the plague. Eventually, however, there are so many people that they kind of woke him up, and they actually woke him up on purpose because nobles were, bragging about their birthright to kind of like get on people's nerves and be petty and all that because they know they got it better than everybody else. Asta just like lets it go, but he's annoyed he didn't get his nap time. Now, along with this, the arrival of the captains occurs a brief moment later, making all the anti-magic birds flee. "Oh my god, it's them! Is that the Golden Dawn captain? They say he's the closest to being the Wizard King." "Sorry to keep you waiting," said William. He proceeds to raise his grimoire, sending down multiple magic brooms from a tree he formed in the sky. As it falls at Asta's feet, he proceeds to float down and grab it with a smile, and it begins to bloom with petals, which William quickly takes notice of. A kindred spirit, he thought. I sense very strong magic from him. "This shall be your first test. This is the bare minimum to show us you have control over your magic. I wish you luck," he said. As he goes and takes a seat, the other captains do as well to spectate, and quickly people rush trying to meet the expectations of the people they eventually, hopefully, will be able to join the squads of. Now, Asta, meanwhile, was just playing with the broom, transforming it into something completely different, while he rises and rises past everybody casually, passing Yuno without even looking at him. The captains take notice of this and wonder what that item was, what that pillow was, and William spoke. Child, if you do not wish to use the broom, you will fail. Huh? Oh, sorry, but this pillow is my grimoire. As he says this, it poofs into the tome, which is quite astonishing, but even without that, to their shock, he was still flying, even though he actually, up to this point, he's been floating around with the pillow. Whenever I say he's floating, just assume Asta's always using the pillow, because again, that thing it's his dream gift right now. So even though he got off the pillow, he was just casually flying, which shows an extreme amount of control over mana. Fagolion at this point says, "You pass. If I might ask, what is your magic?" "I don't know. He's just casually speaking with the captains. I envy him." "And what does it mean he doesn't know? Who doesn't know what their own magic is?" "I have tons of stuff I can do. It's just hard to put it into one category. But I'm definitely what you call a hybrid. At least that's what Mr. Crooker told me." As he floats down, he makes the captain's interest grow, but they will wait until they can, formally see his magic be put to use. They can't just be like, "Oh, he's amazing" and all that. Now, as for the next test, it will be the moving target practice, where many paper targets are set to one person. For everyone else who's honestly trying to hit this target, it is tough. Already hit his, but this is bothering Asta. This paper is like a fly, and it continues to encircle him nonstop, and he continues to try to avoid it until he just gets annoyed. He raises two fingers, lighting his grimoire ablaze. It literally turns to light. That light then splits to multiple ones that track and strike the paper with so much force that it is shredded to nothing. These multiple beams of light, I guess you could say, will then slowly reveal their true form, this being multiple daggers that surround him like a horde, much to the amazement of the captains. Second form increase. As these daggers gather around Asta, they recombine into their spear form, with them sighing. How much longer till we can choose a squad? What the hell is up with this grimoire? Doesn't that ruin his spells? How can he do that? As he swings about the spear, spinning it, Asta hears something and turns to find Yuno, and he already sees Yuno's been done with this test. What, you thought I couldn't do it? Yuno asked. Nah, this is too easy. I'm starting to think that they're testing us while testing us, Now, the next test is the power test. Flying behind another participant before him, Asta watches as she fires a blast of rocks that shattered the stone target. Yes, I did it! As she moves out of the way, Asta flies forward, and now people are looking forward to what he will do. But pointing his finger forward at minimal speed, he would advance his spear as it practically only taps the stone target, but the target bursts to pieces, leaving everyone confused and shocked. He literally, he slowly extended his hand, right? The spear moved slow as fuck, touched the target, and then it shattered. Makes no sense. But what Asta whispered would honestly explain it more, which was promotion. This is one of his spells. As his spear turns to a pillow again and flies before him, he dives into it, and it carries him off onto a balcony. He goes back to dozing off. Take this seriously, shouts Yuno. No, go away, 5 more minutes. How can you already be that deep in sleep? I like that kid, said Yami. Well, it's not like he'll pick you anyway, said Brill. Oh, sorry. As he glares at the kid, Yami is told by William to calm down and tells Rill to apologize, which he does because Rill's a nice dude. But William says that he and that child are extremely compatible since he clearly has plant-based magic. Getting excited over a commoner, thought Noelle. Disgraceful. As for the creation portion of this test, Asta just creates a bear, and then the bear just returns to a pillow again. I mean, him just using the daggers was already creation, but he wanted something that could hug him tight and help him get comfy. And then everyone is told about the one-on-one fights. They are told to pick any opponent, and then they may fight however they want. You must have a few spells by now, said William, so this is your last chance to show your prowess. Who will go first? As he raises his hand at this point, Asta catches the attention of everyone, especially since he's still sleeping on his pillow. Let's get this over with. I mean, if you don't mind, that is. What am I to you? I've been training a lot, As they both advance to the center of the crowd, everyone makes way for them. Asta would for one stop flying and touches the ground as he begins to roll his sleeves up, and much to everyone's shock, he has lean and rippling muscles. He is buff as hell. He proceeds to grab the pillow as it shifts into its spear form. Yuno readies his wind and they are told to begin. Asta steps, cracking the floor, blitzing his brother, who sends at him multiple wind daggers, which Asta knocks away with perfect accuracy until he reaches Yuno. But then he sidesteps another dagger. He finds his footing very quickly, regains balance, but he is surrounded by all of them in that instant. Ooh, he's got perfect control over them. How can a peasant be that good? The daggers fly and crash into Asta when they are then blown away, revealing him unscathed before he heaves a spear, which splits into multiple blades that instantly Yuno finds himself surrounded by. Each of its sharp edges damn near slicing every inch of his flesh, giving Yuno no room to even move his hand to activate a spell.
Damn it, says Yuno. I let my guard down again.
He has physical enhancement magic, said Jack. I like that. He's held his opponent hostage with relative ease, Charlotte states. He's callous but upfront. Not bad for a man. I figured he would just be a lazy sort. As the daggers fly back to Asta's side, however, Yuno blasts him with a revolving tornado. I'm not done yet, Asta. Meeting this head on, Asta is enveloped, keeping everyone on the edge of their seats, and Yuno wonders if he did any damage, only for the wind to be taken away, and they all find that he has confined himself in an oval-like sphere now protecting him, which then shatters with many of its pieces falling to the ground and sprouting a massive sunflower. It begins to build a massive golden blast, and Asta asks, you wanna keep going? With a nervous sweat, Yuno pulls back his arm, building a massive revolving arrow and putting his all into it, all of his remaining magic, and firing it. Asta meets this head on with his own attack, piercing it as it would near Yuno, leaving him wide-eyed, when it would then shatter before the captains get to even intervene. The light blast fills the skies as it turns to nothing and the sunflower returns to its pillow form, and Asta jumps onto it. I win. Not that it means anything. Exploding into applause, everyone cheers them on, being marveled by the amount of control and their huge amount of magic. Meanwhile, Asta has his pillow move and plug his ears for him. I love my magic. Walking to him, Yuno simply raises a fist, which Asta bumps. I swear I was trying, okay? Yeah, I know. You're just naturally annoying. As he walks by, Asta shouts, wait, what did you say? I can't hear you. Don't worry about it. Asta tilts his head, confused, but he just shrugs it off. Many other fights take place, but they don't compare to the first. Not that they weren't amazing in their own way, though. However, the most important part was about to come up, and as the sun began to set, Asta flies forward, sitting cross-legged on his pillow. Hey. As he waits for the judgment of the captains, slowly, much to everyone's shock, all the captains present raised their hands. It was as if looking at a miracle, yet honestly, it might as well be the natural result, due to the show of his prowess. As he looks around, Asta would search for something, and then smile brightly. I'll go with the Black Bulls. That's you guys, right? As he points to Yami, every captain slowly turns to him, who had a look of surprise as much as them before he bursts into laughter, and all participants would erupt with gasps. What is that idiot doing? I mean, a captain's a captain, he's strong, but his group is more like criminals. Is he insane? Why is he picking them? You're not hallucinating, right, kid? Asked Yami. No? Okay, good enough for me. Welcome to the Black Bulls. All the captains practically deflate. There is nothing they can do over losing such talents to Yami of all people, and it's annoying. And Asta just flies to, he literally flies towards Yami and asks him, when are we leaving? Hi, I'm Finral. You're not supposed to be this close, he said. Gordon would mumble his name, which while Asta can't hear from his mouth, he can hear from his heart. Somehow. Hi, Gordon-senpai, Finral-senpai. Looking forward to... As he drowns out and begins to sleep, Finral looks to Gordon, who's just as shocked. Oh my god, he heard you. He heard Gordon. That's amazing. Gordon can only nod excitedly as Asta is dozed off, and while he was dozing off, he started to think, how did I hear? His voice sounded weird somehow. Asta wasn't aware of this ability yet, and so he proceeds to sleep beside the captain, which is quite a bizarre sight after you literally just got chosen, but he doesn't snore, so at least it's not going to bother anybody. Many more are picked or savagely rejected until the sun has completely gone down, leaving a sleeping Asta snuggling until he's whammed on the head by Yami. Ow, what the heck? Though he complains, his passive power of disaster lessened the blow of the captain as he opens his eyes to see him. Oh, hey. Don't hate me, bastard, we're going. Oh, wait, Yuno. He looks around and he's looking for his brother. Meanwhile, Fenrir opens a portal when he would then spot his brother. He flies to him, and as he turns to meet his gaze, Yuno simply smiles. Asta stops in his tracks and responds in kind as he watches him follow Siren, William, and Langris. Let's see how you fare, newbie, says Langris. However, staying stoic and quiet, which takes off Langris even if he doesn't show it, just, goes with the flow. He's like, man, I don't give a damn, bro. I'm here to just join the squad. Stop trying to act like you hot shit. So he leaves, and Asta did want to say something, but honestly, he thinks knows what he was going to say. So Asta goes through Finral's portal, scratching his eyes to get himself awake as he would then gaze upon his new home upon exiting. So he digs. He flies closer and closer when the massive gate of the base is blown off its hinges, being thrown at him, with this grimoire turning into a giant pillow that then gains the bear form. The six-limbed bear blows away the piece of wood. Well, yeah, it's a wooden door. It blows away the massive door, and Yami said, "Great, his fellow can fight back now." The creature then turns and faces Asta, putting a thumbs up. Thanks. With these words, he flies closer and would land, making his way through the smoke to find the bulls, doing as they usually do and absolutely thrashing their own home. Well, more like Magna and Luck are doing it. I like it, thought Asta. Making their way in as well, Yami and the other two see the chaos, and Yami with a shout proceeds to break the wall behind with a strike. Stop breaking everything, damn it! He erupts with bloodlust, freezing them in fear, and then they explode with happiness as they run over, gathering around their captain like some lost puppy dogs. God, I leave for... Anyway, this is your new Kohai, Asta. Take good care of him. Jumping off his pillow, Asta lands holding it and bows as he introduces himself. I hope we get along. In their own very bizarre ways, they begun to say hello, but Asta liked how Charmy said hi because she shoved a cupcake in his face. It's delicious, thanks. I know. Hey, can I hop on that? As he lets the pillow fly to her, with a bright look, she jumps on it and really starts to fall asleep, much like he would. Hey, don't steal it. Captain, I can't agree with this. Magna catches all their attention as he says that Asta is not yet a member. You still gotta go through the baptism. Asta tilts his head as we cut to a new scene. Asta and Magna face each other while the others wash from a couch they brought outside. Damn, I forgot to ask for my pillow back, thought Asta. Oh well. As he rolls up his sleeve, everyone watches on attentively except for the sleeping Charmy. Alright, brat, if you can block even one attack from me, you get one of these. He tugs on his robe, leaving Asta's eyes twinkling. And all I gotta do is dodge?
Guess I won't be needing chest to full then. Don't know what that is, says Magna, but as long as you dodge, I don't care. You ready? Asta nods attentively.
The senior gets ready as he raises his knee, getting into a baseball type of stance. And he creates a massive ball of flames that he heaves at incredible speed, while Asta just punched forward. What is he doing? Asks Vanessa. He's gonna... Leave it. That kid's got a 4-leaf. I'm sure that's worth something, said Yami. This is quite surprising to hear, with Asta blowing away the fire as if it was nothing upon making contact, much to everyone's shock. I didn't think that actually worked, thought Asta. Watching from afar, Noelle is shocked, wondering how he neutralized the spell, while Asta is congratulated first by Magna and then by everyone, leaving in Noelle's mouth a bitter taste because she obviously avoided everybody when she got here. Hey, you want to fight me too? Asked Luck. No. Aw. You know, that was real manly, says Magna. Welcome to the Black Bulls, Asta. Raising her wand, Vanessa weaves a robe that she slowly drops on the boy, who is in awe of his new, Black Bull robe. It fits you, she said. Asta snuggles with it, saying that he agrees. He thanks them for welcoming him, when Magna then runs off, dragging him. Let me show you around. Holding his hand out, Asta calls his pillow, leaving Charmy to be caught by a big sprouting plant in her place, where she would have instead hit the floor. Plant magic? Asked Vanessa. That very pillow then returns to Asta as a grimoire, and when they see that, they're just like, they all turn silent, by the way. And Yami said, yeah, just get used to it. He's kind of a hybrid. Meanwhile, Asta is indeed shown around. He's shown where the library is, where the onsen is, and so on, until they reach the beast cage, with Asta blankly staring at the beasts as they snarl at him. This house is fun. Right? I mean, don't pet them though. They only listen to Captain Yami. You sound really proud whenever you talk about him. Of course I do, he gave me purpose. He's a little rough around the edges, but you get used to it. Hearing this, Asta definitely feels that this place is truly where he belongs. I wonder how he can even do what he did, thinks Magna. It makes no sense. Asta hears these words in his head. He holds his ears in pain. No. I wonder how he can even do what he did. It makes no sense. Asta hears these whispers in his head, and he holds his ears, and he looks to see Noelle as she arrives. Magna finally notices her as well. Then he hears that whisper in his ear again, saying, just say hi, surely Mitch, be confident. Asta begins to approach Noelle and gets way too close, asking, are you using magic on me? What? You are way too close. Pushing him back, she's embarrassed, with Asta apologizing, but tilts his head because he can still hear her. I'm reading her thoughts. His grimoire will then fly out from his grasp and open, with Noelle and Magna looking on, curious. Asta meanwhile sees he has gained a new spell. Heart read. What is it, commoner? A new spell. Anyway, I'm Asta. As he holds his hand out, Noelle knocks it away abruptly. I'm royalty, how dare you? Okay then, bye. As he turns and flies off, he sighs, saying that he feels much better when Noelle shouts to stop. How are you flying already? It takes advanced magic to do that. Grandpa told me I did that when I was a baby. What? That's impossible, shouts Noelle. Magna meanwhile takes pleasure in having such a talented kohai and says that he'll show him around even more, but Noelle gets a bit frustrated, and in her attempt to make Asta listen, she fires a water ball. Just as the two turn, Asta holds his hand forward and the attack just stops. Huh? How did you... As he makes a fist, that water ball shrinks in size until it disappears, leaving Noelle baffled as Asta says, don't do that, you could have hurt somebody. You suck, this place sucks. Ripping off her robe, Noelle throws it down, much to the chagrin of Magna. She runs off, annoyed, while Magna caresses the robe, with Asta thinking that she must be dealing with a lot. And it was evident from her thoughts. And so eventually Asta goes to sleep, cleaning his own room and restoring its cracks with plants because it is an old building. And so when Magna opens the door the next morning to wake him up, he's quite surprised. He kicks the door open and shouts, time to... What the hell? He finds himself more in a forest than a room, and Asta sleeping in this massive flower bud as he slowly opens his eyes, groaning. What's going on? Dude, this is like the woods or something. Is that a Venus flytrap? Oh yeah, I must have made it in my sleep, I guess. You guess, huh? Well, get up, time to clean this place. Okay. Just 5 more minutes. Nope, right now. As soon as he's kicked out of the room, Asta groans, but soon gets on with the cleaning, using his telekinesis to sweep and do much more than in the original. He would then feed the beast, and eventually fly out on his pillow from the base towards the forest. Man, that was so troublesome. Now I could find... Oh. His chastiful flies in another direction as he would hide behind a tree, watching Noelle practice. She sucks, he thought. I suck. Thinking this to herself, Noelle's thoughts are transferred to Asta, who then looks on, feeling a bit sad, so he flies out from his hiding spot. Hey. Noelle, surprised, turns as Asta waves, when she then fires an attack at him, but he once again stops it. I'm just here to talk. You really gotta stop doing that. Making a fist, he squashes it again to nothing, this time bringing Noelle to her knees as Asta lands, giving a hand out. You're closing your eyes when you fire. This wasn't what she was expecting him to say. She takes his hand confused. As she stands, Asta says that she has a lot of power, but no way to release it correctly. That's why you suck right now. Man, you really don't hold back, huh? You commoner. Maybe I don't, but you need that right now. What you don't need is an ego boost. It's a realization. Also, I'm not really good at consoling people, so sorry about that. Let's just restart. My name's Asta. She grabs his hand this time, saying her full name as well. See, was that so hard? Shut up, yes it was.
Leaping back into his pillow, he asks that Noelle calm down because not everyone is out to get her, and she needs to get out of her own head.
Not everyone's out to get you, Noelle. We belong to the lowest of the low. I mean, you can only go up from here, right? I thought you weren't good at consoling people. I'm not, I'm just speaking my mind. Idiot. I heard that.
Heard what?
You called me an idiot.
She feigns ignorance, asking what he's on about.
My magic lets me read the thoughts and emotions of everyone and anyone.
What? That's just an invasion of privacy.
Oh, you're right. Well, can't do much about it. Let's get along, Noelle.
Don't just gloss over that. Promise me you'll never read my mind.
But what if we're in a fight and I need to?
Fine. Don't do it unless I let you.
Got it. I don't trust you. What choice do you have? We're teammates now. Also, I don't have time to keep checking your head anyway. Okay, bye now. As he flies off, Noelle says to wait, we're not done yet, right? Is that an order or a question?
You're the worst.
Sorry.
Will Asta at some point get motivated? Will his rivalry with Yuno be reignited? Find out in the next part of Black Clover.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget.